Hi everyone, welcome to Amy Learns to Cook. On the show today, we're going to be doing ribeye steak 2 ways in the DREO ChefMaker. This is a combo fryer. It takes air frying to a whole nother level. We're going to do it classic style, cook it and sear, and we're going to do it chef style that simulates sous vide. So join me. Let's make ribeye steak 2 ways. So today we're doing our first cook in the DREO ChefMaker. This is like the next generation convection oven. It's not quite an air fryer because it's multifunction. It has steam technology, it uses artificial intelligence. It has an algorithm that will cook your steak perfectly, right? So here we have 2 beautiful ribeye steaks for Eric. He slathered them in butter and then put the Canadian style seasoning on here. We are going to cook these steaks 2 ways. We're going to be using the classic cook method, which is to cook it similar to what we do on the reverse seal. We cook it, we sear it, done, right? The second one, we're going to be using the sous vide. It's going to take longer. It's going to cook slower. It's going to use steam technology, and it's going to mimic what goes on in sous vide. So hopefully we will get excellent results, right? So if you want to take a look at this cooker, it is just now releasing in the next couple weeks. So there's a Kickstarter campaign to bring this cooker to market, and we're lucky enough to have one of the first models in the Amy Learns to Cook kitchen. So thank you, DREO, for sending this. This is the ChefMaker, and we're getting ready to cook some ribeye. So let's do this. Okay, to prepare our basket here, this is our probe. And we're going to be using, it comes with 2 inserts in here. One goes all the way to the bottom. We're going to be using this grilling version that doesn't go all the way to the bottom. There's a space in here which allows for airflow underneath. It tells you on this thing which direction it goes to. This says front, this says back. It's foolproof. So the probe is going to be completely inside here. What we do is we take the probe here, and there's some little things here like this. We're just going to stick this here like this, and your probe is in. And now let's put the meat in. So here we have our steak. I'm going to put the probe this way. These are boneless, so you're not going to hit a bone on there. You want the probe to go in through this way and right in the middle there. You don't want it.
You want the thickest part of the meat.
Yeah. Okay, so I got the meat in here. I'm going to go ahead and put the probe in here. And, ooh, this looks pretty dandy. Looks like we're ready to go. Okay, so now we're going to start the cook. So we're going to be using the chef mode on this, and I'll show you the 2 different ways you can use the chef mode. Okay, so we're going to choose medium rare. You can use medium rare, medium, all the way up to well done. We're going medium rare. So there's 2 modes in here. There's a classic flavor and a sous vide flavor. The time that it cooks and the algorithm is different depending on which one you use. So with this, we're going to be cooking these 2 ways. So the first one we're going to be cooking is the classic. The next steak, we're going to be using the sous vide flavor. So we're on classic. So now we have the steak in the cooker. We're going to go ahead and put some water in the reservoir. Go ahead and pour that in. There's a fill line. We're going to go ahead and do that. The lovely Boo is filling it for me. We're going to replace the cap. So we put some water in here. So it's going through its cycle. It estimated there's 25 minutes left on the cycle till we're going to have a juicy steak. So as this goes along, we'll be back. Hi everyone, you can see me. I just wanted to show you, it will burst steam in here. It's kind of interesting. You saw that? That was pretty cool, huh? That was pretty cool. So it kicked into a browning mode. Kind of interesting. So it started out saying achieving doneness, and now it's saying browning. Sorry for all the reflection, but I just wanted to get that for you. That's pretty cool. So right now it's on a browning cycle, and you can see all that sizzling. It's really hard to see on a camera, but you can really see it in real life. See that sizzling over there? It's browning it. That looks pretty cool. So you can see that butter. Look at it flopping around in there. That's the convection airflow. Yeah, that steak is really looking good. Okay, steak is coming out. Woo! Whoa. Look at that.
Why don't you come near me, my pretty?
Let me grab a plate. So our Montreal steak seasoning looked like it burnt a little bit. Let's get a temp on here. What's the temp?
129.
129.
So that's not bad.
So let's get a knife. Oh yeah, let's rest it. Let's get some foil. So go ahead and
We'll be back
give a little tent. We'll be back in a few minutes to cut into this baby to see how it looks.
Juices. You have a pale pink in the middle, and then you can see there's about maybe 1/8 of an inch or so of gray on both the top and the bottom, which is what typically happens when you cook at a high temperature. And that's obviously some of the difference between sous vide and not sous vide. So we'll see if the other mode has the same grayness. But otherwise, this meat is very juicy. It seems tender enough, and I'm definitely looking forward to eating it.
Okay, go ahead and give it a little tasty.
I'm going to give me a little taster right here. I don't want to be too greedy, right? Minimally chewy, a lot of flavor. A lot of times you might cook something on the grill and say, oh, I want to cook to a certain temperature. Cooking medium rare can be as low as 120, 125 degrees, depending upon what steakhouse you go to, instead of the 140 that the USDA calls it. If we would have cooked it to 140, there might be a little bit less pink in there.
I think it looks good. It's got a decent graying here, but you still have sort of the rare in the middle. It looks like a really good medium rare.
Well, we'll flip it over, see what the bottom looks like. So this side, I didn't put any seasoning on. There's enough seasoning on the one side. You don't have grill marks like you normally would see, but you do have little lines caused by the weight of the meat on those lines.
But I think you have enough crispy on this side.
Yeah. It definitely crispied up the steak seasoning, and that gives you a little crunch.
I mean, to me, cooking a steak, like if you say, oh, cook me a steak tonight, I will have difficulty getting it like this. Like if I put it in an air fryer, I'm going to have difficulty getting this.
Well,
where you have the contrast between the browning and graying here and the tender sort of this is the medium, this is the rare, right? If it's medium, it's going to be this all the way through. That's just medium. If it's rare, this is going to be all the way out to the outside. But I think this is a pretty good compromise between this outside being medium and this inside still having a rareness to it. So I think it looks like it did a fantastic job.
No, it did a fantastic job. It's still juicy. It's flavorful. It's about all you can really ask for. And it was convenient. You didn't have to sit here and babysit it. You just plug it in and tell it cook.
Okay, so let's put the other one on sous vide. Okay, we're putting this in here. I probed it. This is the second steak. Probed it, and I refilled the water tank. Okay, we're going chef mode. We're going beef. We're going down. See how easy this is? Flank. Ribeye. And we've done that. We're going medium rare. This time we're going sous vide flavor. It's reminding us to put water in, which we already did. And now the sous vide function is going. So it goes through cycles. It goes raising temp, browning, all that stuff. And I think it's really interesting that during the cook it was spritzing the water.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. I'm interested to try to do some chicken in this, so I might do that too. So as soon as it's done with this sous vide, we'll be back. Okay, the cycle is finished and it's time to get a steak out of here. Whoa! Whoa, look at that. So the temp is 132. And let's tent this baby. Okay. Tenting, and we'll be back in a few minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the steak cooked on the sous vide cycle. It smells really good. It smells very beefy. Ooh. It looks slightly more rare.
Yeah, so this one here has a little bit of gray, not much. I don't see any gray on this bottom. None. The pink goes all the way to the bottom. So that's a little bit different. This is a thicker piece than the other one was by a little bit. But still, there's only a little bit of gray in this area. This fat doesn't show any gray. Then this pink over here has a little bit of gray. Let's go ahead and cut a little thinner area and show how this is. This piece must have a little fat in here. Definitely got pink. I'm not really seeing any noticeable gray.
Take a taste.
Oh yeah. Once again, this is all pink. Looks pretty good. Juicy, flavorful. Tastes great.
So was this juicier than the other mode?
I didn't really have a problem with the other one not being juicy. This one here, a little bit of gray there, a little bit of gray here. But once again, there's a ton of pink. So I'd say the big difference between this one and the other one is there's a little bit more of an area of pink compared to the other one.
So it's more rare than the other one.
Well, the other one, it's almost like they exposed it to high temperature on the top and the bottom. Maybe the airflow got the bottom to be a little grayish. But on this one, the bottom doesn't have any gray at all. We got plenty of juice.
It looks a little more rare than the other one.
This one looks a little more rare. Part of it is
it's a thicker steak.
This steak is thicker than the other one was in the middle. So the thinner
But the probe should make up for that.
Well, it depends on where the probe's at. And you're 132 in a slightly thinner area. Compared to the other steak, it was 129. So there's a little more wiggle room. The bottom line is this one definitely has less gray on the edge. This is the top part that we're looking at right there. So I just have it reversed for you. So that's the top one. And there's just a little bit of gray. This is the bottom. And there's really, I don't see any gray at all. So it did a better job in that sense of not hitting it with an intense heat. So it was able to cook more of the meat before it then hit it with the browning stage. So I would definitely say that the roughly 10 or 15 minute cook initially done on the other steak gives a little bit of gray with plenty of pink in the middle. But this one took closer to 35 minutes or more, and it cooked at a lower temperature longer. And technically that's what a sous vide would do. A sous vide, you would cook it at a lower temperature for a long time, right?
So which one is more medium rare? To me, the other one looked more medium rare, but some people would say this is more medium rare.
This one is closer to rare than medium rare, but once again, it just depends on what part of the steak. Overall.
So what I think it really does is bring you able to get way more precision on it than you can.
This was way more precise, I'll tell you that.
If I, not knowing really how to cook a steak, and I threw it in an air fryer, my results would be all over the place.
It's not bloody looking. It's juicy. It's tasty. There's all kinds of good things. A sous vide takes a long time.
Yeah.
Well, but it also depends on the cut of meat. You wouldn't put a sous vide on this for like a day or two unless you're really, adamant about that.
So I really think this is heightening what we thought of as air frying, but it allows you, particularly when you're inexperienced like me.
A normal air fryer is going to do this, even with a probe, because a normal air fryer is going to hit it with a high heat until it hits what the probe thinks is done, and then it's going to say it's done. And you're going to look at it, and you're going to say whether you think it's really accurate or not. Here, between this one, specifically this one, hitting it with the different temps, the fan speeds changed throughout the cooking time, and it did take longer to cook. And it wasn't just a lower temp. It varied all by itself. So it was able to brown it, yet it was also able to cook it. It had a pre-sear stage. I've never seen it before. So that was quite interesting, to say the least.
Yeah.
But even the classic, where it did it faster, it still did a decent job.
So this is pretty interesting. This is
really interesting.
Pretty interesting upgrade to your standard convection.
No, I've been staring at that
little air fryer. So
rip that apart.
Thank you, DREO, for sending this. I really like this thing. I think it really takes it to another level. Mm-hmm. And this will be out soon. If not, if the Kickstarter hasn't launched as of today or a few days, it'll be soon. So keep your eye out, because this is a really, really nice cooker. Mm-hmm.